I don't know. I think people are gonna want to keep their guns. Bear arms. America. Stand your ground. Shooting the regularities. The shooters everywhere. Very much. How many incidents are gonna be gun related for us to understand that guns are part of the issue?
Yeah, also like to ask you about the 34 rules you recently proposed, either deregulating firearm requirements or streamlining processes to ease the burden on federally licensed firearm dealers. In announcing these rules, you were surrounded by representatives of firearm industry groups. Did you, just yes or no, did you consult with gun industry affiliated groups such as the NRA, Gun Owners of America, the NSSF, which is the Firearm Industry Trade Association, in formulating and drafting the rulemakings?
No, we did not.
Did you
Hey everybody, this is Dean F. Deanfmofficial here for your creature comfort, and today I wanted to do another reaction video. This was going to be two. Representative Summer Lee presses ATF Director Robert Cicada. Some cicadas in the back. By the way, how you like the back? How you like the back? Presses Director Robert Cicada on gun violence in America.
I would like to start by acknowledging the 8 children who were shot and killed recently in the first of 2 horrific mass shootings in Louisiana. One of them was only 3 years old. Children should face this kind of, or should not face this kind of violence. They should not have to learn active shooter drills at schools. They shouldn't have to worry about any of this. They should be living and playing and just being kids. I represent Western Pennsylvania, which includes communities that are still healing from the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting. The deadliest anti-Semitic attack in American history. In my district, gun violence is not abstract. It is mass shootings, hate-fueled violence, and the daily community violence that devastates families. One of the few agencies tasked with helping reduce gun violence is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the ATF. So I want to start with debunking some myths about the basic tools used by ATF. Central to all of this, gun tracing. Director Cicada.
I'm a big proponent of gun control. I always feel that we should not even be a gun country to begin with. I think that we need to be a gun-controlled country at least. I know these people ain't going to want to give up their guns. And at the end of the day, in our lifetime, I don't think that that's going to go. But I mean, maybe if we get it together enough, but I don't know. I think people are going to want to keep their guns, bear arms, America, stand your ground, shooting the regularities. The shooters everywhere. Very much. How many incidents are going to be gun related for us to understand that guns are part of the issue? Alex Petty, but they good. But it's guns. It's very easy. It's cowardly. It's a manipulative tool for people to use to be ridiculous. Stand behind your keyboards. It's cowards. Like, I don't need to fight. I got a gun.
Gun tracing works.
Sure. First of all, good morning. Thank you for your question. The trace starts from the point of where the firearm was manufactured. And in most cases, a firearm goes from the manufacturer to a distributor, and from a distributor to a wholesaler or a retailer. ATF uses that trace data to identify who the first purchaser was, and in some cases, the first purchaser could have been just a few days prior. In many cases, there's a period of time in between, and it varies from firearm to firearm.
Yeah, sure.
Basically, what our agents do is when the trace is conducted, if it turns out to be in our out-of-business records at the National Tracing Center, we are able to query to see if that serial number is in the out-of-business records. If it's not in the out-of-business records, and we have the manufacturer's systems, we can identify, okay, which manufacturer was it? We contact them. They're all very cooperative. They tell us when it was manufactured, who it went to, and our investigators go out and interview folks to determine where that firearm first entered the public market.
Yes, thank you so much for that. So gun tracing helps law enforcement figure out trafficking patterns. It helps to determine how a gun got to the crime scene, and how it gives us valuable information to stop the spread of illicit firearms. Director Cicada, ATF's gun tracing database is not the same as a searchable national registry of law-abiding gun owners, correct?
There is no searchable gun database for American gun owners.
So because federal law already prohibits a national gun registry, these rules aren't in place to villainize gun owners. They're here to keep us safe. I emphasize this because Republicans have convened this hearing today around the T. Hart amendments, which are a cluster of riders to spending bills that limit how ATF and the FBI can use the data they collect to trace and track gun trafficking. These riders don't even really protect gun owners. They protect the gun industry. Now, Director Cicada, I'd also like to ask you about the 34 rules you recently proposed, either deregulating firearm requirements or streamlining processes to ease the burden on federally licensed firearm dealers. In announcing these rules, you were surrounded by representatives of firearm industry groups. Did you, just yes or no, did you consult with gun industry affiliated groups such as the NRA, Gun Owners of America, the NSSF, which is the Firearm Industry Trade Association, in formulating and drafting the rulemakings?
No, we did not.
Did you consult with any victims and survivors of gun violence?
No.
No, we did not.
Nope.
Did you consult with any gun violence prevention organizations?
We did not.
Are you familiar with the concept of industry capture? What would you say to those who look at the announcement and the process for crafting these rules and see that ATF is, or might perceive ATF to be influenced by the very firearm industries it's meant to police?
Did you say industry capture? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you properly.
Yes, sir.
Did you say?
I asked if you're familiar with the concept of industry
Well,
capture.
the first time I heard that was reading a news article, I believe, was today, this morning, and so I can tell you, ATF isn't captured by anyone.
News articles,
we are
social
focused
media,
on doing
get
our
to the-
job and following the law. I purposely didn't meet with anyone. We took the information that we have noticed over the years. Again, I've been doing this 34 years and working in the most violent cities in the United States and risking my life along with the lives of all of our partners around the country to try to make America's communities better. There is ambiguity in the law. And I think it's important for people to be able to follow the law, to understand the law. And when federal agents don't understand the law themselves, that leaves all of us at risk. There shouldn't be any room there. So, no.
should all have better conditions
And again,
to
people
not
were
be
upset at me from both
outraged
sides
and
because we
hungry.
didn't include anyone. But in order to try and make changes, we had to do it in the way we did so that we can now discuss this through the NPRM process. Everyone, your constituents, everyone's constituents in this room will have the opportunity to comment. We will take those comments seriously.
Thank you, and I look forward to that. And I will be sending you a letter with additional concerns and questions that I have around this rulemaking process. And I urge you to consider these regulations and remember your mission to keep Americans safe. As it stands, Americans are not safe. And there is a deep perception and reality that there are certain lobbyists, the gun industry, that have influence over our processes. They have influence over our policy making. And it's important that we root that out and that we are honest about that. I thank you for your time, and I yield back.
I don't trust him, but I appreciate you. Right now, I'm just very much of skeptical mood. It's not being a conspiracy theorist, but you're just looking at the information and you're just analyzing it and you're just saying this guy is voiding everything, stealing everything, funding wars, doing this, defunding this, putting down whole 50 block metallic cubes in the waters of black community with the poison water. They don't give us called criticism, it's called analysis. It's called that's fair game. You all queuing on your way to the top. I don't even know why we even have to kind of have that kind of guilt there. They validated that concept of conspiracy, but I don't know. However, stay a little bit what you think down below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.